Chattanooga, Tennessee, a city that's never historically been known for the beautiful game, the scenic city is reshaping non-league soccer in the United States in the form of Chattanooga Football Club. The club has created a lot of noise in recent months, so I traveled down from my home state of Michigan to go see what exactly was going on. And this is what I found. Chattanooga Football Club plays in the National Premier Soccer League, otherwise known as the NPSL. And despite their 4th division status, the club maintains a professional look comparable to any of the Division I teams. And only just being founded in 2009, CFC has done an incredible job already at making itself Chattanooga's football club.
I don't want to say it's better than anywhere else. It definitely is my favorite place to be, but I think what it is it is a truly representative piece of Chattanooga. We represent Chattanooga uniquely and authentically.
I've been told several times this is the gold standard for small town soccer.
I think there is something very special about Chattanooga. It's a combination of a lot of things that are almost hard to explain. Good ownership, it's committed for the local, committed for the long haul. We've got fans that believe in Chattanooga and want Chattanooga to succeed.
You can see the team has grown and is authentic. People can tell that it's authentic and people have passion and they cheer when they win and they cry when they lose. There's no, holding back on it. So it's very, very authentic place to be, and people like that.
And I think Chattanooga FC it was built by Chattanoogans, some who were not from here but made Chattanooga their home.
With CFC being this located in a town that's between a bunch of other bigger cities and being a bit of a little brother city or little sister city, it means Chattanoogans have a chip on their shoulder, naturally. Chattanooga was labeled the dirtiest city in America by, I believe, Walter Cronkite in the 70s, I think, with terrible air pollution. It was a well-deserved nickname, a well-deserved moniker. Ever since then, Chattanoogans have been working hard to change Chattanooga's image. It went from a factory town to now a town of tech. And people are really proud of that. People are really proud of the city. And I think that in addition to being Chattanooga's club in all the emotional ways before now we're financially and physically Chattanooga's club.
While the incredible growth of CFC signifies some sort of love for soccer in the city before the club, I learned throughout my trip that might not be the case.
There's always been some decent soccer through the school systems and the clubs and whatever, the youth clubs and stuff like that. But no, I don't think anyone would describe Chattanooga as a soccer town.
I've said this before, and it makes certain people mad, but I stand by it 100%. Chattanooga is not a soccer town, and it was not a soccer town. And maybe it could be someday. Chattanooga is Chattanooga Football Club's town.
And it wasn't like they were joining MLS or being one of those traditional big league teams. It was just a team for Chattanooga.
But this isn't a town that was like teeming with soccer and that is teeming with soccer that just needed a professional team. This is a town that has some soccer fans, but that has thousands of converted CFC fans. It's just a town that has embraced their soccer club. This is Chattanooga's football club. This is Chattanooga's team. This is Chattanooga's sports team. This is a team that people are intensely loyal to and who feel passionate about 50% of the time. They're not even soccer fans. People are just Chattanooga fans. They love CFC and they love Chattanooga, and they're so happy and dialed into CFC, but they don't watch the Premier League, or if they do, they watch it now because they came to it through CFC.
A big part of this rise for Chattanooga Football Club comes in the form of fan ownership, where for the first time in United States soccer history, a club has offered fans true ownership in the form of selling shares.
Fans now will own somewhere close to a third of the club. That's significant. That's real. That's tangible. And the fact that there are voting rights with those shares to vote for certain things, including a full board member that sits on the board of Chattanooga Football Club with all of the founders and some of the other prominent community members, that's huge. And that's a step that further just ingrains Chattanooga into the community and makes it even more Chattanooga esteemed.
The thing with that is, it's the first one that a soccer club's done in the USA since the rules changed in 2016. We've seen that with, it's the Green Bay Packers, they have that, where everybody owns a piece, and they do that in Germany too, in the Bundesliga. And so it's based on that idea that everybody's very involved, and they feel it's not just like some of the teams that pick up sticks and move.
That's been an idea for almost 10 years. A fan suggested to the front office, hey, it'd be really cool if we did something like the Packers. At that time, securities law the way it was just never feasible. With the 2016 Jobs Act, that actually opened up some securities law for this kind of like crowdfunding investment stuff.
At the end of their share selling campaign, the club announced nearly $900,000 worth of shares being sold, with 3,292 investors in total. All this success, however, has not come without hurdles to jump, and their most recent is definitely the biggest. When the USL rebranded to 3 separate divisions, they needed teams to fill those holes, and Chattanooga was one of the first markets on their minds. The arrival of the USL in Chattanooga certainly has not come as good news to the Chattanooga Football Club fans.
I would call it more of a coup d'etat. I think the calculus for USL moving a team to Chattanooga was supposed to play out just like in Birmingham and Memphis, to use 2 more recent examples. They would take whatever was built up, whatever was infrastructure was built up, and in Birmingham and Memphis it was much, much less than Chattanooga. But they move in, they might keep the name, they might not, and they just build from there as professional soccer.
And USL especially didn't come here with good intentions to partner with CFC to make this. No, they wanted to buy CFC and or put CFC out of business. They have succeeded in neither one of those, and knock on wood, they will never succeed in any of those as long as I have anything to do with it. They asked CFC to be a part of it. CFC took a look at it and said, this is not for us. They did several times, did the full due diligence. And when they declined that 3rd time, they looked at it and they said, okay, we're gonna come into your town, we're gonna recruit an out-of-town owner, and we're gonna basically put you out of business. And for all of the overtures that say, we're just here for pro soccer, they're not. Look who they've hired. They hired the former GM of Chattanooga Football Club. They hired the ladies GM away from Chattanooga Football Club. They have attempted to hire almost every academy coach that is a part of the academy, and they've successfully hired a bunch of them. They signed CFC's, at that point, most famous and notable player. They are not here to be friends. And the Red Wolves could hurt CFC, and they might hurt CFC, but CFC's here to stay. And CFC now has 2,000 community owners who also say that CFC's here to stay.
Now, while the arrival of the Chattanooga Red Wolves is never an easy thing to deal with, Chattanooga Football Club responded tremendously well. Firstly, with the announcement of selling shares, and secondly, with the announcement of a friendly against Real Betis of La Liga.
I don't know how to describe how surprised I was when I heard, there's a chance we get a La Liga team here, and then when they announced Real Betis, I was just, brain exploded.
And that just shows it's kind of just proof positive of what we're doing on the ground to try to get everything up and going. And that speaks to how much our owners and our managers in the city of Chattanooga value what we have here in a team. And I was way excited for our players too, because this is big for them too. Because obviously we broadcast our games on live stream, but this is something that's going to be streamed globally. And just to imagine the impact it could have on some of our players as well, it just gives you chills.
When the friendly against Real Betis was announced, I immediately started searching everywhere for Airbnbs, hotels, whatever, because I knew that I needed to be in Chattanooga for this game. When everything started falling into place, I knew that this was my opportunity to go experience a Chattanooga Football Club match day and to experience just what the club was about and what it means to the supporters.
I mean, match day for a lot of us starts at the tailgate.
Everybody forms up in a line, you have the drums, the flags, it's just so dramatic. And it lets everybody know something's going on. You can hear it all over the south side, it's really loud. And so people go, what's that noise? And it draws people in.
I think the experience is almost sometimes more important than soccer for attracting fans. Because a lot of people have come to CFC games just for the experience. They didn't know anything about soccer, and they become soccer fans after the fact.
Go CFC! Go CFC! Go CFC!
And the sport is very welcoming, very inclusive. No one gets turned away. If we see somebody on their own, we go and say, hey, do you want a drink? Have something to eat? Come talk to us. And they're not used to that. People are used to supportive groups, being, us and them. And we're just wide open. We attract the the opposing team. They come on the tailgate. The tailgate's open to everybody who comes by. We grab people walking on the sidewalk and say, come and join us. Like, oh, what's this all about? And it's about soccer, and they get all
And after all the build-up and after everything leading up to this game, it was finally match day.
The first goal of every match is sponsored by final score, Real Betis 4, Chattanooga FC 3.
When you partner with a community, when you take tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands of people who come as a common cause and who volunteer their time, their blood, their sweat, their energy to build something, who work for free, who your supporters are basically your free employees. Those people are all working with you and you're allowing them to build something that is greater than the sum of its parts. And so I think what has happened is the founders did an amazing job, and the players have also been amazing, the coaches have been amazing at making this the city's team and the community's team and not their team. It's not the founders' team, it's not the coach's team, it's not the players' team, it's everyone's team, it's the community's team. And when that is the case, people have taken ownership of that team. Before it was literal ownership, back when it was just figurative, and have taken ownership and they volunteered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours to build something and to passionately build something. And there's nothing that can be bigger than when people are passionately building something together and working for passion and not for money. And since this is hundreds of people's passion project, I think that's infectious. I think that has made it into something that, again, truly represents Chattanooga in a way that you can't do it by just offering an exchange of service or product for money. This is a thing that we've all built together, that we all own, and that we all live and die with. And it's a living, breathing embodiment of Chattanooga.
You see some of the problems with some other lower division teams, non-MLS teams, and MLS teams have their own problems. They struggle because they don't feel authentic. And I think that's got to change in American soccer so that the sport really can take root and last for generations.
It doesn't matter what league you're in. It doesn't matter where on the pyramid you fall. You could be in UPSL, you could be in a city league, you could be in MLS. It doesn't really matter as long as you authentically and truly represent your community and you are the embodiment of your community. It will grow and it will be the best it can, the most it can be. And I think that there are hundreds of people, thousands of people in Chattanooga committed to making CFC the best it can be, and so it's going to continue to grow and thrive. I think competing with MLS is a dumb goal. I think thriving in your own community so that you are sustainable in your own community, whether or not anybody else cares about you, should be goal number one.
I think Chattanooga FC brought something 100% local, and from the beginning said, this is your team. And I think that has a lot of draw for people and a lot of value for people. And I think it's one of the reasons why the club still exists a little over a decade later. I think the soccer culture should reflect and be authentic of the city that the team plays in. And so Chattanooga FC, authentically Chattanooga. Say Detroit City, authentically Detroit. And they're very, very different cultures.
What really matters here is that clubs connect to their local communities. The reason you can't put CFC out of business, and you can't do it easily, at least, is because CFC has a base of committed and passionate supporters. People who work every week to bring their friends, who spend hours painting tifo, who tailgate, who show up and scream every single match. These are not people who are going there for entertainment. They're going there to watch a club they're invested in, and now, as we said, literally invested in.